Today from the Kursk direction, a Ukrainian drone footage reveals Moscow's desperate tactics to conceal foreign assistance, as North Korean troops sustain heavy losses leading assaults in Kursk Oblast. Here, the Russian military, bolstered by North Korean forces, attempted a bold assault to eliminate a critical Ukrainian bridgehead east of the Psel River. This move set off a series of intense battles and revealed the lengths Russians would go to keep North Korean involvement a secret and take credit for their victories. The Russian objective, supported by North Korean troops in this sector of the Kursk salient, was clear: to neutralize the Ukrainian presence east of the Psel River, which posed a significant threat to their operations. This strategic move aims to neutralize a possible Ukrainian penetration toward Borky and potentially Giri, which Ukrainians have already reached once early in the Kursk offensive. Such a repeated advance would disrupt Russian operations across the Kursk salient, as it would force the redeployment of troops and resources to this sector away from their efforts in the northwest. The key position here was Plekhovo, which was defended only by a small Ukrainian contingent due to its location in the lowlands and the connected logistical disadvantages, being separated from the rest of the Kursk salient by the Psel River. Exploiting these vulnerabilities, North Korean troops advanced through minefields and reportedly achieved a breakthrough by seizing the village in a highly attritional operation lasting 2 hours. Geolocated footage from the region confirms the huge columns of North Korean troops advancing to achieve their first success in the area. Despite this, tensions quickly emerged as Russian forces started looking for a way to claim credit for the victory, after initial reports suggested that Russian units only entered Plekhovo after the North Koreans had secured it. In a brutal twist, reports from Ukrainian intelligence and President Volodymyr Zelensky indicate that Russian forces started to burn the faces of deceased North Korean soldiers to conceal their identities. This grisly act, confirmed by drone footage, underscores Russia's effort to obscure the presence of foreign troops on its soil and avoid acknowledging its reliance on North Korean forces to reclaim its own territory. Additionally, Ukrainian officials have alleged that North Korean soldiers are being disguised as Russian personnel, highlighting the Kremlin's desperate attempts to maintain the facade of self-sufficiency. Following the capture of Plekhovo, Russian forces sought to capitalize on their momentum and achieve a propaganda victory by advancing toward Alexandria and into Ukrainian territory, as Russian state TV was quick to claim a success. Unfortunately for Russians, Ukrainian Special Operations Forces thwarted this attempt with precision strikes from drones and ambush tactics, forcing the Russian saboteurs to retreat to their own territory. However, Ukrainian units decided this was not enough. They pursued those that went past the border and eliminated both them and the remaining enemy forces, dealing a quick blow to Russian aspirations of further gains and spoiling the desired propaganda effect. Undeterred, Russian commanders decided to once again rely on North Korean troops, this time deploying them in a high-risk river crossing assault on Kurilovka. Lacking the tactical advantages present at Plekhovo and forced to storm without cover, the North Korean forces were decimated by Ukrainian drone operators while still trying to cross the river. The aftermath of the failed assault left the water littered with the bodies of North Korean soldiers, marking another devastating failure for them in the region. Overall, Russia's continuing reliance on North Korean troops highlights a pattern of attritional and questionable tactics. Despite their initial success near Plekhovo, the North Koreans have suffered staggering losses, with Ukrainian intelligence estimating over 220 casualties in just a few days of combat. These heavy losses, combined with Russia's efforts to conceal their presence, paint a grim picture of the exploitation of the North Korean fighters in the war. The Kremlin's reliance on North Korean troops underscores the challenges it faces in sustaining its operations. While these troops provide numerical support, their lack of combat experience and the brutal treatment they receive from their Russian counterparts limit their effectiveness. Ultimately, the deployment of North Korean forces serves as a desperate attempt to bolster Russia's faltering campaign in Kursk while exposing the depths of its logistical and strategic vulnerabilities. White House National Security Council spokesman John Kirby said on Friday that 1,000 North Korean troops had been killed or wounded in the last week fighting against Ukraine. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un is an ally of Russian President Vladimir Putin and has contributed to his war effort first through munitions and weapons, and now via personnel. Estimates vary. Between 10,000 and 12,000 North Korean soldiers have been sent to fight alongside Putin's forces in Russia's Kursk region, where Ukraine staged a surprise incursion on August 6th. The first confirmed battles between North Korean and Ukrainian troops took place on November 5th. Ukraine has said that the North Korean contingent makes up a significant proportion of around 50,000 troops Moscow has deployed to the border region, where Kyiv has been losing ground after making swift initial gains. The reported loss of 1,000 North Korean troops in a single week shows the growing cost that Pyongyang may have to pay for Putin's war. White House National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby told a press briefing on Friday that North Korean units had been carrying out human wave attacks against Ukrainian positions in Kursk Oblast. North Korean troops Russia considers expendable are conducting massed, dismounted assaults against Ukrainian positions which haven't really been all that effective and resulted in 1,000 casualties in the past week. Kirby said that North Korean soldiers are highly indoctrinated and pushing attacks even when it is clear they are futile. He also said that they are taking their own lives rather than surrendering, likely out of fear of reprisal against their families. Retired U.S. Vice Admiral Robert Murrett told media that North Korean troop losses reflect a new escalation in the war between Ukraine and Russia, and moreover, reflect the continued shortfalls that Moscow has in finding enough troops for the fight with Ukraine.